what does it mean for fitness for men versus women? Is there difference, like how you work out? Goals? Are there differences that you've noticed? Can you work out together? What does that look like?
We actually worked out the two couples about a week ago.
Right.
Yeah. So, and it can be. It depends on what I think your fitness goals are super important.
Okay.
And, it depends on what you're after. Like, some people are after a certain aesthetic look. Some people are after health and wellness. Some people are after longevity, those types of things. I think each avenue is important, but I do think you do need to get some type of physical exercise every day in your fitness routine. And your fitness routine doesn't have to be going to the gym or lifting weights. It can be going for walks. It can be your kids swimming, your kids jujitsu, your kids whatever, those types of things. While they're at swim practice, you could walk the track. I mean, those are those stacking things. Those things Dr. Andres brings up, those things are easily doable where you can all do it together. Some people do work out and work really well together. Some people are in their zone with their headphones and they're in their own.
They start telling you your form sucks.
Yeah, 100%. That can happen. That can really happen. It depends on probably your personality, right?
Your relationship.
Your relationship and those types of things. How good do you do with advice? Like, hey, how are you doing with that? You got a lot of motion, a lot of swing with those exercises, those types of things.
My wife and I, we don't work out together. We go to the same gym.
Yeah.
But we work out at different times. Okay. So my schedule also is very different than hers. So I have to work out a specific day at a specific time. And I use a trainer because, I'm not great if I don't have like accountability, obviously, with a trainer. Yeah, for sure. Other people are great. They have great discipline. Yeah. I was never my sister can probably do that. I never was an athlete. Yeah. So I don't have any of that. So I have to hire somebody. I got to pay them so they can text me the night before. It's like, see you at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah,
you're
for
like,
sure.
Now I got to go.
Yeah. And our goals are different. Hennessy's will do more cardio. Yeah. And obviously she's pregnant now, so her workouts are changing a bit.
Oh, absolutely.
I do more weight training because it's what I'm working on in this moment in my life. I used to do boxing. Yeah. So again, it depends, like you said, what's your outcome. Yeah.
Yeah, and what you're after. And I think fitness is different for everyone and what they're after in their routine, too. Also, I think your schedule and routine dictates that a lot with what works for your body. And also, people have different things going on, old injuries, elbows, knees, things like that. And it doesn't mean you don't go because that will be a common excuse. I can't go because of my knee. You can easily work around that. I don't go because of my shoulder.
You can swim.
I don't go because of my shoulder. You know what I mean? Well, you can get that looked at, or you can actually do these routines.
And there's so many avenues nowadays of how you can work out.
Oh, my gosh.
You can buy a Peloton bike if that's your thing. Yeah. You can go to a pool and swim if you want to. You can go to a regular gym. You can go to an Orange Theory. I mean, there's so many avenues. You can buy a kettlebell with Joe Rogan's face for $600.
Probably.
And do a kettlebell routine. So there's options out there.
Yes. There's Pilates, yoga. There's all these different things.
Boxing, like you mentioned.
Boxing, yeah.
Boxing, jiu-jitsu, all these different things that you can. You don't have to specialize.
And like you said, if all else fails, you can literally go for a walk and be healthier.
Go for a walk. That's
100%.
We've always talked about this. I mean, people think that health is so hard, but it's so easy. Yeah. Drink water, get sunlight, walk, sleep, eat real food. I mean, you do those things where you're ahead of the entire world at this point.
And it's fascinating because we've talked about this with our gym owner partner as well. It's like there didn't used to be gyms.
No.
Why? Because life was fitness.
100%.
Right?
Yep.
And so you're right. It can be like walking. People used to walk all the time.
All the time.
So like, how can you get back, like men particularly, but everybody get back a little bit more to just being healthy? Like, it's great to go to a gym, and I believe people should go boxing, do classes, stuff like. But how can you just be more healthy, like, and active and fit just in everyday life? Like, how do you guys do it at work? Like, do you guys do it?
We're moving all day long.
So we're
blessed that our profession.
Yes.
We're actually just running around all day long.
Yeah, we're on our feet all day.
So that's really good.
Yeah, and physically working on people every day.
Yeah. Actually, I've gained more weight since I hired people than before.
Yeah, I think just physically getting out and moving, is a big thing.
For example, I'll take Kelsey, my office manager. So we obviously our shifts are a little bit different. So we work from 10 to 12 and then from 3 to 6. She actually walks whenever her break is. Yeah. She puts on her headphones. She runs around the building. Not runs around, just walks around the building. Yep. So you can do it.
Yeah, you definitely can. All those things are avenues.
It's easy. And it's about getting creative with your time. Like you said, time management and stacking. I think time management and stacking are great things that you can do to maximize your day and get healthy.
And play
and like you said earlier, discipline, like, hey, make a decision on, when I get home, I'm going to do this thing instead of that thing.
Do you guys meal prep?
We do. We do
I was
on
just
the
going to ask
weekends.
about nutrition.
I think meal prep is also very important.
Yeah, I think nutrition is setting yourself up for success.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah. And on days that we don't meal prep, I will literally talk to Heather and be like, okay, I'm getting a salad wherever you get it from. I don't care if it's Qdoba, Chipotle. Okay, I'm going to get a double meat chicken salad at this for lunch. That's what I'm going to do today.
Because like you said,
and you can walk there. You can stack things.
Because if we let, because most people, if they don't prep or they're not in this this healthy routine, they're going to default to unhealthy.
All the time.
Easy.
People are going to default to unhealthy, and they're going to go through what's easy, and probably what's easy is their Chick-fil-A next door.
100%. That's the fastest.
Yeah.
The fastest, easiest thing.
Yeah, and nutrition is so important. And I'm curious, too, you guys' opinion on, like, you eat what your wife eats a lot because she's cooking, right? So how does nutrition vary for men and women, or does it not? Should men be eating differently than women?
My wife is pregnant, so it's different now.
It is different now. It is different now.
Yeah, I consume more protein than Heather does. But like I said, my easy thing when people ask me about that is I shoot what your goal is, and that's what you should eat in grams of protein.
Men typically weigh more than women, so they should probably eat more.
100%.
Yeah, my wife does a lot more salad than I do.
Yeah.
I just don't the only green thing that I eat is grapes. But I eat a lot of protein. I like plantains a lot.
Yeah.
So I eat a lot of plantains. So usually when we cook, it's the same protein that she cooks, but then we trade off. She does salad, I do plantains, or I'll do some other thing in general. So
that's pretty cool.
And there's another ways where you can, I always sneak vegetables in for my kids. Pico de gallo.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right? Simple things like that. Mixing those things in there.
Bowls are great.
Yeah, bowls are great.
You can throw so many things in there and it just tastes so good.
People always ask about vegetables, and my wife does a great job with green beans, and then we'll do sweet potatoes, right? You throw salt and a little bit of oil or butter on those. Kids will eat those all day.
My son loves sweet potatoes.
Right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's an easy
thing.
It's funny. I once heard that, oftentimes when people get married when they're younger, the women and men eat the same thing. You get married, you have dinner together, and you make the plates, and you make the identical plates, right? Yeah. And so what happens so often is women eat the same exact thing as the men, and then they end up gaining weight, and the men don't.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, oops.
Proportion.
Exactly. And so I think it's important for men to realize, it's okay to eat more than your wife. Yeah, it's probably going to be that way.
Yeah.
And depends on your exertion as well, right?
Yeah.
If you're moving all day long, you're probably going to need a little bit more energy than your wife does, especially if she's not going to move as much throughout the day.
Yeah. And I think, going back to your fitness and your nutrition, all those things play a factor. And, my wife, since she did a bodybuilding show, we have a food scale now, and you can track how many grams you eat and stuff like that. And it's, is it a little more cumbersome? You have to put in more work? Yeah. But does it get you the results that you're looking for? Yep. Because why? You're accountable.
Yeah.
And anytime you're accountable, whether it's to a workout trainer, whether it's to, and you know what? It's building accountability for even the kids, seeing that. So they're, and it's not the whole overeating thing. It's just, you're like, hey, you know what? I want to make sure I get 8 ounces of chicken this day or whatever. It could be those things. It's just making you more accountable.
And I think doing it as a family makes a world of difference.
Nobody, my kids don't know any different.
They don't. And so they're going to grow up and this is the way we do it.
Yeah, this is what we do.
What it is.
Yeah. And is it every meal? Is it all the time? Yeah. It's not a big deal. But will they measure out 7 ounces of, whole rolled oats and put them with protein powder to have for their breakfast? Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's just what they do. They don't know any different.
Absolutely. That's the big thing.
Right.
Yeah, they don't know any different.
So we're talking about fitness and health. One more just topic I want to touch on for men specifically is like mental health, like mental and emotional health for you guys. You guys guys tend to be, I'm not saying women aren't under stress, but typically men have a level of stress from being the protector, the provider, the man of the house, right?
Might just not portray it as.
Not all of them take that responsibility, but all of them have that to a certain level. Like, what do you recommend for men to keep themselves not just physically and, nutritionally healthy, but just mentally and emotionally healthy? Like, what are some things that you would be like, hey, make sure you do this to make sure you're healthy?
Talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Have a group, a great group of guys around you that are not only successful in their business, but also successful in their marriage and successful with their health and just successful or as much as they can or they're working towards. I think makes a difference when you hang out with great people
100%
versus when you're hanging out with people that are just not doing, making the best decisions right now. Yeah. And it's fine to cut them. I think I've seen a lot of people and friends and students and doctors that just hang out with the wrong crew.
Yeah.
Just because they've always hang out with that crew. Yeah. But it just doesn't make them any better. If anything, it makes them worse in general.
Yeah. I would say for men, it almost comes back to like, what your parents told you in high school, you hang around with the kids and those types. Yeah, if you keep hanging around those kids, you're probably going to get in more trouble.
Yep.
You're going to become like the 5 people.
Yeah, the 5 people you spend the most time with. Yeah. And that's a big factor because most men won't call.
They won't seek it out.
No, they're going to go through that tough thing and they're like, I don't want to bug him. I'm just gonna sit here and ride it out on my own.
And that's another problem with technology nowadays. Yeah. For example, one of the biggest issues that we're seeing, and I've read some articles on this, is that now a lot of younger guys, instead of, let's say they're going through a breakup with their girlfriend, they'll go to ChatGPT, AI. What should I tell my girlfriend that we're going through a breakup? Pump out a script, and then that script they'll put it on a text message, and the text message will send it to a girl, rather than the years ago when ChatGPT was not available. Then I would probably call you or text you. He's like, hey, I'm having a rough time with my girlfriend. Yeah. Like, what should I tell her? This is what she wrote, Yeah. Like, we're losing a lot of that as well.
And then you're losing the wisdom that's passed down.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's important.
Yeah, and it's with relationships, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's, those types. And I also think the personal interaction, the face-to-face interaction, those things matter, right?
Yeah,
those things matter. You know what I mean? And having those relationships where you can trust somebody, because I feel like most men will just ride it out. Like I'm gonna ride it out.
Everything's good.
And when you call somebody and you'll be like, how's everything? Great. Everything's great. Everything's fine. You know what I mean? When you get those lines and you're like, come on.
Really?
Yeah. And even as guys, especially us that were business owners, but even anybody that just works a lot, just taking a break and taking a vacation, and it doesn't have to be a family vacation. It could be a guy's vacation.
Yeah.
For example, we go fishing twice a year, and that's our moment to decompress and just not think of anything that's going on with our businesses in general.
Yeah, no, especially if you're on the boat and you get seasick, you're not worrying about anything. You're not worrying about
how many more hours of the charter do we have left?
Yeah.
You're worrying about
worry
not hurling on anything.
Our guys' trips are very important, and you connect and build that relationship. You talk about family and business.
Yeah.
My wife tells me all the time, I wish I could do girls' trips, but not all my friends are in the same boat,
Yeah.
It can be hard on both genders, but what you said earlier was very interesting. You're like, well, you don't want to bother people, and I think that's a guy and a girl thing. I think it's kind of the age we live in. People think they're bothering, and people are afraid of talking on the phone. It's weird, but anyways,
yes.
Do you guys think though that when you do reach out and you do become vulnerable, if you will, and say, hey, let's connect, do you think it's actually not just helping you, but maybe that guy wanted?
They do.
They need it just as bad.
100%. I think it helps both sides of the fence. Both people. Yeah, are going to, anytime you're having conversations like that, they always say the teacher learns the most.
Yeah, that's good. Sometimes
you get the most out of it when you're not the one going through it and stuff like that. But it is good to be, you got to open yourself up. I also think younger generations or younger even kids now worry about being vulnerable because it's going to be on the internet. It's going to be on social media. It's going to be on a text. It's going to be on a, you know what I mean? So they're very guarded and like this as they don't want to. And then, maybe my parents' generation, they didn't have that risk. They would go over to their friend's house. They'd hang out. They'd bring the whole family. You know, everybody's going to the picnic. I don't care if you're fighting.
That connection is huge in these types of issues. Yeah.
Yep.
Rather than, and then the other part is resort into a pill.
Yeah.
A magic pill that'll probably fix all your mental health and emotional issues.
Yeah.
Rather than let's go through this and let's get a support group that can help you grow through this.
Yeah. And work through it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Such great words. I mean, for people who are listening to this to really but all of them take a decision and all of them take action. Yep. So any last pieces of advice for the men listening to this?
No. Show up to the office.
I would say put in the work, right? Do the work and just get started. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I can't go to the gym. I can't do that. Just get started. I can't go to the chiropractor. I can't. Just get started. It's amazing how much you'll get out of just taking the first step.